Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. If you were here for our last meeting, you probably remember that we talked about New Year's resolutions and goals. I'm wondering if any of you made a resolution to stretch more. In my speech today, I want to talk about why stretching is important, how it affects our muscles, and I want to share a different technique for stretching. To start out with, I want to talk about muscles. So muscles are made up of many fibers, and these fibers, they should be loose and pliable. They should move against each other quick or easily. In fact, I've heard that a healthy muscle should feel like a water balloon. But regular life tends to be pretty hard on our muscle fibers. We will often be in one position for a long period of time, like sitting at our office computer, or maybe we do a repetitive motion like painting all day. Either way, this is hard on the fibers because some of the muscle fibers are being overused and some of them are being underused. And essentially the muscle fibers start to adhere together, things get gummed up, and the muscle can start to feel lumpy. So that lumpiness, the lumpy muscle, is often called a knot. And you might think of a knot in wood or lumber, and you can imagine that it's kind of the same idea, like a hard area within other layered fibers. When I was a massage therapist, many people would ask, why do I have so many knots? And I would say, well, essentially because your muscles have been held in the same position for a long time. You kind of forgot how to move into their normal range of motion, their normal stretchiness, like muscle memory, for example. And those fibers that are stuck together and not moving the way they should be, they're not getting their fair share of oxygen and blood. So that can be why often you might feel some discomfort in those areas. So when you get a massage or when you use your handheld massage tool, you're actually doing two things. You're trying to physically separate those fibers, and as well, you're trying to push blood and oxygen into the fibers, which admittedly sometimes can be uncomfortable at first. I mean, sometimes it feels really good, but sometimes it's not so comfortable. But in the end, it should feel better because you will have healthier tissues. A common misconception about muscles is that they're only working when they're contracted. So if you think about the bicep and you think when it's relaxed, it's more soft and loose. And then when it's contracted, that's when it's working. And that's when you would be more likely to get knots. But in fact, your muscles are working even when they're stretched out. And an example of this would be the muscles in the back of your neck. Like if you're looking at your phone, these muscles are still working to hold up your head. And they can get gummed up in that position, which actually is very bad for your posture. So in addition to massage, what can we do to help these muscles? You guessed it, stretching. When I was in massage school, I learned a specific technique for stretching, which is called proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. That's a big phrase, so let me break it down a little bit. Proprioceptive, that's the nerves that kind of tell your body what it's doing or keep it aware of itself. So to feel balanced, or if you close your eyes and you put your arm over here and you know that your arm is over there, that's proprioception. Neuromuscular, those are the nerves that are controlling the muscles. And facilitation, that's making things easier. So I want to, or in short, this is PNF stretching. And I want to demonstrate this with a simple stretch. And I want everyone to join in. So we're just going to start out by tilting our head, our ear towards our shoulder, either side, whichever one you want. Just do it until it's comfortable. And then we're going to take our hand and put it against our head, and we're going to push, and we'll do this all together. So push your head against your hand for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now stop pushing, keep your head where it is, and try to stretch your head a little further towards your ear to your shoulder. And we'll do it again. Put your hand to your head. Press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. stop pushing and try to stretch a little further. And now relax. So if it worked, you should have felt, sorry, the stretch get a little bit longer both times after you did the isometric exercise. So isometric exercising without moving. And why does that work? Well, the science is actually very complex, way beyond even me understanding it, who's studied it for a while. But the layperson version is essentially we trick the muscle. So we put it in its long position and it's got its muscle memory that says, that's as far as I go. That's my comfort zone. And then we kind of tired it out by pushing against it. So then when we asked it to stretch a little further, it was tired or distracted and it said, all right. And it didn't throw up the, no, don't go any further message to the brain right away. So we were able to get a little bit further stretch. So if you have stiff muscles or you want to increase your range of motion, PNF stretching is a great way to go to help with that. You can look online, you can find techniques for stretching almost any muscle in your body. In some cases you would need a partner to help with that, something to push against, like for example, if you were stretching the muscles in your back. In conclusion, stretching is tremendously helpful to keep your muscles healthy and pain-free. I don't think there are any superstitions about too much stretching. And I hope you will consider more stretching in the year 2023. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.